Another day. Yes. Another day at the office, bud.
Big office today.
Big day, big night.
So the question on everybody's mind, I guess, is what's Fred's status?
Fred is out for tonight. Patrick McCaw is back, healthy. Probably give him 10 or 15 minutes tonight, hopefully. If we can find it for him.
Does Pat have that point guard ability that you need?
He's got some of it, right? He's got some of ability to get the offense initiated, get the ball up the floor. Certainly can bring it in transition, etc. Yeah.
What do you expect from your players watching this unfold tonight and then having to play against the other team right away?
Well, I hope we go at this similarly as we did in LA when we played them, which we were really aggressive. I thought we played very hard at both ends. We were moving the ball. We were getting the next actions quickly against a good defensive team, but we really executed the schemes and the game plan and flew around behind them, and we did a nice job with what we did. We just, if I remember right, that game we had a bunch of opportunities at the rim late that didn't quite work out for us. And other than that, it was a really good game with about 4 minutes to go.
The pregame stuff, obviously fans have been looking forward to this. Is it a hard thing for a team? Obviously you guys have spent so much time looking forward, and now you're sort of put in a position where at least for a few minutes you have to reminisce and look back.
Yeah, I don't know, Josh. I think there's you're always trying to take care of the day at hand, right? There's enough thought about doing what you're supposed to do for the day each day in this league, but it's been part of this. I think it seems that we always think that we're kind of okay now. We can get on, and and something takes us back again. That's okay. I mean, certainly this guy, Kawhi was a huge part of this, and this is here now to honor what he did for this organization. And I think Kyle said it best at the pep rally at the parade or whatever it was when he said we're all brothers for life, and that's it. I'm going to be connected to Kawhi for life because of what we achieved last year, and all of us that we're in that locker room are. So we'll give him his ring, we'll shake his hand, hopefully maybe even give him a big hug when we see him, and then when the ball goes up, the reality is we got to get to playing and do everything we can to try to beat a great basketball team. This is as deep a talented team as there is in the league. They just got players coming nonstop in off the bench, and we are going to have to play high-level basketball, which we can do, but we're going to have to do it.
Given the way it's going for your team the last week, is it good to be out there against one of the best to get really challenged?
I mean, well, given the way it's going, we better be sharp tonight, and we haven't been very sharp here in the last couple games. So we're going to need to be sharp, or it's not going to be much a game that everybody's excited to see.
When
right?
stars leave an organization, it can be so hard on the organization that they leave. Not only does it seem to not be that way here, but you guys are top 4 team in the East. You played very well. Why didn't Kawhi leaving here have the same effect that maybe like a LeBron leaving Cleveland or something like that had on those franchises?
Well, I'm not sure I have the answer to that, other than we've got a very good group of players. I continue to say how special some of these guys are, from Gasol to Lowry to Van Fleet to Siakam to Serge to OG. We got a special group of guys that are still very talented. And I think there's a lot of pride in the guys that we have, and there's a lot of compete in them. When the ball goes up, I always talk about these guys. They really start trying to figure out how to stop people and then try how to dissect them at the other end, and that's all with the goal of trying to win the game. I guess that's all I got on that. That's all I can say.
Did you have to give yourself time to be upset that he didn't come back?
I don't think I got too upset, right? I think you probably heard the story. I was at the Prince deal in Vegas and saw it come through my phone, and got back to the concert, and I think we all knew that there was a distinct possibility, right, that he would go, and I guess with that being a possibility, even all year long, that you're not totally shocked or like, I just know that we had a crack at it last year and we made the most of it, right? And this puts us in a different scenario. It's given opportunities to Siakam and Anunoby and Powell and Van Fleet, that with the departure of those two guys, Green and Leonard, and we just move on and take those opportunities, do the best we can with them.
How far away is that same player?
Do I think I will?
Yeah.
I sure hope so. He's a great one. Best I've coached so far, but I sure hope so someday. I'm a young guy.
Okay.
I'm a young guy, man.
How far away does that all seem now? Here in December.
It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if far away or what. It does seem like a little bit ago, and we're already 25 games in or whatever it is. But everybody keeps asking, has it sunk in? Has it sunk in? Has it sunk in? And when these kind of things keep coming up like this, or something like this comes up, it again forces you to reflect back on it, and you see probably a lot of highlights and a lot of talk and a lot of things, and you kind of scratch your head and say, man, that was pretty incredible. And mostly for me, it's like they're showing shots outside the arena and outside other cities and all these fans, just how encapsulating it all was for the entire country, and you didn't really get to experience any of that while you're in the middle of it, and it wasn't like I was sitting around when it was done, looking for it, but you're seeing it a little bit more now, and you're sitting here thinking, okay, maybe it is starting to sink in a little bit how cool it was to go through it.
Have you ever sat down and kind of gone through everything at once in a games, going back? Besides that he's never really watched the championship parade in length, you just couldn't, just
Nope.
a feeling on that day that you would rather savor?
Yeah, I haven't watched that game or those. I did watch a little program today which encapsulated the 5 games with Orlando. That just happened to be a fluke. I was in the living room doing something else that I was stuck with, so I watched it and it was on, and it was pretty cool.
It's not the one I would have picked.
Well, it was on. It was on.
Coach, the last game the last time you played the Clippers, you held Kawhi to 2 and 11 shooting.
Yep.
How will you look to replicate that tonight?
I think that'll be really hard to replicate tonight, right? I think that you do something once against somebody or a team that they can certainly show film and say, if they do this again, here's what we got to do. And I think he got both those buckets pretty late in the game. I would imagine they're gonna try to free him up some more tonight, and they'll probably push the ball and try to score in transition before we can get some of these schemes in place. They probably won't screen for him as much and give him some isolation, so it's harder to get 2 guys on him and make him give it up and things like that. So I think it'd be pretty hard to make him go 2 for 11 with 9 turnovers again. It'd be really cool if we could.
Nick, the other night in Chicago when Kyle calls that timeout, how often does he do that, and how did you feel about that?
It hasn't happened that often. It's probably happened before, but I can't recall really. But it's probably happened before. But I was extremely happy that he did it at that time. We haven't been playing very well with great energy lately, and we're trying to find some sparks and some whatever, and he pulled them together. I didn't even go into the timeout, as you probably saw, and he had the entire team there, and I imagine he was giving it to them pretty good. I didn't really ask anybody what he said, but he wanted us to start running back and start flying around and start going after the ball, and the things that we do pretty much matter-of-factly night after night that just weren't happening in a game where we needed to play a little better.
About timeouts, towards the end of the Miami-Houston game, you called one with 30 seconds left in each, where the game was sort of already decided. Was that just to let guys know something that couldn't wait till the locker room?
Nope. I don't think they probably were decided in my mind yet. I was still trying to find a way to get back in them. Can't recall them exactly each, but I probably thought if it was 7 or less, I was still going to try to, get a bucket, get a steal, and get a bucket, and be right back in it.
When you see that the 3-point numbers have gone down in the last 4 or 5 games, whatever, how much of that do you think is the way that the offense has been working or not working, and how much of it is natural regression?
I only think that we're due to have a really hot shooting night.
You believe in being due?
Huh? No, I mean, we talked about after the games. I was a little critical of the offense, and then I went back and looked at the shots were wide open, so I needed to be more critical of the shooting rather than the offense. But those things will come and go a little bit, and tonight's a good night for them to be there. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Okay, everybody.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
I blame the shooting.
Yeah, enjoy the game.
Yeah, once we get back in there. The dock's already been set down. Yeah. Call me again, see what happens.
It's like 12-point games. Both games, 30 seconds left. What's he going to say?
Coaches think differently.